Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to this webinar for the Jakamo platform and the Supplier Experience Platform. My name is David Ekström, and I am the Global Sourcing VP responsible for commodities, global commodities, processes, and projects at SAF Holland and Haldex. Today we will give an introduction here to the Jakamo platform, which we will launch here during September to be a part of the sharing of data between or within the supply chain and between SAF Holland and Haldex and the suppliers. Together with me today, I have the team here from Jakamo and also Thomas Nagy and Anders Bengtsson from Haldex. I'll now hand over to a quick introduction from those four, and then we will continue with the agenda for today. So please, Annie, make a short introduction of yourself.
Hi all, I'm Anni Kujala and I work as a customer success manager at Jakamo, and I am here today to train you to be familiar with Jakamo and guide you how to use Jakamo with Haldex in upcoming weeks.
Hello all, my name is Matti Anttila. I'm a creative leader in Jakamo, one of the founders as well, and I'm here today to answer your questions during the webinar and also after the presentation. Glad to be here.
My name is Tamás Nagy. I'm a regional SQE manager email at Haldex, and we was working together with the Jakamo team the last months to build up the different modules. I personally supported the engineering modules, the PPAP ones. Later we can talk more about that. You are muted, Anders.
Let's try again. Anders Bengtsson, quality manager for the site, the Haldex site in Landskrona. I will be mainly involved in the claims handling in Jakamo.
Thank you. Then let's move to the agenda for today. We will today go over a little bit about the reason why we are doing this, and then also give the introduction to all of you on how to apply this or work in this platform. And the main use cases is going to be 8D, PPAPs, and communication. That's where we're going to get started with this platform, and that's are the key ones for us right now. So Annie will later on make a demonstration, and then we will show you a little bit what's next with the launch and go live dates, and then also go through questions and answers. And during the live meeting here today, feel free to put in questions in the Q&A chat, and then we will answer them as we go, and then go through all of them by the end of the meeting here as well. So the objectives here, or the target for Haldex and SAF Holland here, is to make sure that we have all the data available within the push of a button or by the fingertips with all the people within the supply chain. So we will keep all the data into this platform as one point of contact or one point of communication channel, and we will be having all the spend data, the BOM costs, supplier trackings in terms of past dues, and also when it comes to PPAPs, who is responsible for them, where they are right now in the workflow, and when they're expected to be done. And the same with the 8Ds. During the beginning of next year, we will also add another module for the sustainability. That also makes us be able to comply with the new ESG directives that will come for Europe. So this is the main targets, what we would like to achieve with using this platform to communicate and share data within the supply chain for SAF Holland moving forward. So now, please, Annie, let's go into the platform and the introduction of Jakamo.
Yes, thank you, David. Now I have a correct slide here available. So today's goal is to provide you understanding of what Jakamo is, how to use it with your customer Haldex, and how you can independently take an advantage out of Jakamo. So we will start a short general introduction of Jakamo as a product and as a company, and I will also highlight some benefits of the platform for you also as a suppliers of Haldex. And let's spend around 10 minutes. And after that, we will concentrate the rest of the webinar in Jakamo user interface and in a browser. So we will do a quick walkthrough of Jakamo, what can be found there and where. And then we will get to know the applications you will start to use with Haldex in upcoming weeks. So we will get familiar with supplier master data and what is expecting from you to fill up claims application for handling APs and engineering changes application for handling PPAPs. And as David said, please ask questions during this webinar. So at the end of the meeting, we will read them out loud and answer all the questions you have during this webinar. But let's start with short introduction of Jakamo. Jakamo is the supplier experience platform. You may call it also supplier platform. In general, Jakamo is a place to share information between customer and supplier. And our platform is designed for manufacturing industry and for companies interacting in that certain industry field. Jakamo gathers all the data, information, discussions between customer and supplier into one platform and solves the problem of scattered, outdated information between different parties throughout the supply chain. Our platform covers holistically the most of the supply chain processes. For example, purchase orders, order confirmations, RFQs, forecasts, claims, engineering changes, audits, shared assets, supplier master data, as an examples. Jakamo is a software as a service solution. It's built on Microsoft Azure. We have over 3,000 user companies using the platform, and most of them are operating as suppliers in Jakamo. So typical user of Jakamo is using Jakamo via browser at jakamo.com. There is another way also to use Jakamo. It's via automatized integration, which means that, for example, there is some external master system, ERP typically, for the information, and that information will be shared with suppliers or other business parties automatically via that integration. For example, purchase order confirmation process can be automatized with external system and Jakamo. But typical use is simply via browser. Jakamo's heart is network of the companies that use Jakamo. So each company can be the center of its own network in Jakamo. So on the other words, company can utilize that one account they have in Jakamo to serve multiple customers or suppliers throughout that same platform and same account. And it's a new way of thinking, for example, if we compare to more traditional ways of how we understand supplier portals, where companies may have own company-specific solutions, and supplier needs to have access multiple different portals to serve their customers. So this Jakamo network and networking logic is protected with US patent, and as a company, Jakamo is a Finnish software company, and we have around 20 personnel around Finland. Jakamo is established in 2012, and latest 3 years we have grown about 50% each year. And on the right, you can see in addition to that patent, we are, for example, Microsoft preferred solution for supplier collaboration. Yes, okay, that is Jakamo shortly described. And today our mission is to provide you steps for easy onboarding of Jakamo and ability to start use Jakamo quickly and easy. Here are listed some benefits for supplier companies using Jakamo that I want to highlight to you, especially today. So because Jakamo is the supplier experience platform, it's also designed to serve you as a supplier as well as possible. In addition to, we want to serve our customer companies. So we feel that all the companies in Jakamo are equal. So let's see some highlights I want to emphasize you today. First of all, Jakamo is always free of charge for you as a supplier. Basic use is always free of charge. You can add all the necessary users you need to your Jakamo account and create as many relations with other companies in Jakamo as you want to, and all the features that are required to use in Jakamo with your customer Haldex, for example, are always free for you to use. And I guess that here are now plenty of totally new companies in this training now today without any account in Jakamo. So all of you that are new to Jakamo can have this kind of 30-day trial period. So you can try Jakamo with better features. For example, better reporting options and wider search possibilities. But after that 30-day trial period, Jakamo will ask you once, do you want to continue with that better feature plan, or do you want to continue with free basic use? And I want to emphasize that you are able to use Jakamo with that basic free version without any problem. So no need to worry that this basic version is not enough for your daily use. The second highlight is that Jakamo is easy to take into use. Company account is easy to set up, and Jakamo use is easy via browser. So we do not require any installations or integrations from you. So Jakamo is used via browser at jakamo.com, and daily use of Jakamo require only modern browser in use. So it should be very easy to get started. Jakamo has intuitive user interface and continuously developing user guide for all Jakamo users. We have designed our user interface to be as intuitive, simple, and easy to use as possible. So after this training webinar, you are ready to use Jakamo without any additional trainings. Of course, we are always available to answer your questions and help you out if you face any issues using Jakamo. We have published Jakamo user guide this summer, and it is free to use and free to utilize by you. So there should be all the general instructions and also short tutorial videos how to use Jakamo. So you are free to utilize that support.jakamo.com address and user guide that can be found there. And the platform itself, Jakamo provides you real-time and transparent and secure information sharing with your customer. Jakamo use brings structure and transparency to open tasks and discussions between parties, supplier and customer. Sharing information in Jakamo is more secure, and real time than, for example, via email. So information related to ATs, PPAPs, or information related to, for example, your company, supplier itself will no longer be shared via email, but in Jakamo, which guarantees that things will be shared only amongst correct people. And all the data, statuses, files, discussions are visible transparently in the same view for both of you, for you as a supplier and your customer. And it makes, for example, decision making based on real-time information. And Jakamo will be the place also where you are able to see the information and discussion history. And in the future, you can see conversations, agreed matters, or changes in Jakamo. And these are not remain in emails of individual persons, but are available in Jakamo. So it's easy to process, for example, colleagues' tasks, or if she or he is out of office. Yes, Jakamo is shared environment that it enables you to serve multiple customers in that same platform. So as mentioned, there is thousands of companies registered on Jakamo, which means that there are opportunities for you to build up network by yourself by connecting with other Jakamo companies. So you can freely use Jakamo with other customers, or possible even with your own suppliers or another business partners if they use Jakamo too. It's easy to search available companies from Jakamo network and connect with them. And last but not least, Jakamo is the supplier experience platform, as I have mentioned. So suppliers' approach to things will be always included in the development of the platform. As said, Jakamo is developing continuously and new features are released weekly. So Jakamo provide this kind of standard platform for everyone, which means that everything is available for every party at the same way, and all the companies are using the same latest version of Jakamo. So only one and latest version of Jakamo is always available for you and in your use. I hope that you see these highlights as an opportunity for you to serve your customer Haldex, for example, even better, and also get some benefit for your daily businesses too. And I think that we are now ready to jump into Jakamo platform itself. And let's start with how to do the registration to Jakamo. It will be the first step of your Jakamo journey to create your own company account to Jakamo. And I will share my browser now. There now should be available this kind of company profile. Yes. So how you get into Jakamo. During this week, Haldex, your Haldex contact person, category managers of Haldex, will be sent you email registration link, which include this kind of link for you to start your Jakamo journey by creating a company profile for your company to Jakamo. And as you can see, this is quite short template you need to fill in. First, some basic information about your company should be fulfilled here. For example, these star marked information are mandatory information. And here you can see this kind of tick box, which means that while you're creating this company profile of your company via that invitation email link, you will receive from Haldex contact person. It will automatically also connect with Haldex in Jakamo. So I recommended you to keep this tick tick box selected, so that that relationship will be automatically established with your customer. And after that, you will create the first user of your company account, and it will be yourself. So you are creating here also a user profile for yourself. And here are the information need to be fulfilled. Email address will be your username, which is the login username you need to provide. And here you will create your password, which you will be used to log into Jakamo. Here you can take a look at our terms and conditions and privacy policy. And after you have take a look those, you can accept them by ticking these boxes here. And after that, when you are ready, you can save the profile, and this will be direct you automatically to Jakamo login page. So this is the step one. If you don't have a company profile in Jakamo, to create one based on invitation you will be received during this week to your email. As I said, you can log into Jakamo via browser at jakamo.com, and as you can see now I am in our test environment, but this looks exactly the same like the live environment that you will be using in the future. So you can see this demo word here that indicates that we are now in test environment, but everything should look exactly the same. And here you can see that now I am logged in with my demo username and password. While you log in, there should be your email address and password you created that previous template, registration template. And after that, you are able to log into Jakamo. And now I am at your user dashboard, and this is the place where I will be direct every time I log into Jakamo, and this is the place where you can see all the activities, news, anything that is related to your user in Jakamo. So this is the good place to take a look, kind of like summary of what has happened in Jakamo that is related to you. For example, here you can see a list of recent activities that has happened in Jakamo. If there is some tasks assigned to me, I can have direct links to those tasks from here. Or, for example, if I have been mentioned somewhere in Jakamo, in some Jakamo discussions, those can be found from this user dashboard. Let's start this walkthrough by 3 steps I recommend you to do after you have logged in to Jakamo first time. Let's start with my company. Each company in Jakamo will have only one account, and this one account should include then all the necessary users that need access to that company account. For example, today I am logged in as a Minea Svensson, this kind of Malvo metal product imaginary supplier Jakamo. Here you can see my company's Jakamo ID, which is unique for each company account in Jakamo. So for example, this is now my Jakamo ID, and Haldex will have their own Jakamo ID. And this is something that can be used. For example, if you know your partner's Jakamo ID, you are able to search with that ID from Jakamo, that company. But of course, if you don't know it, you can search by a name. First thing I recommend you to do is to take a look on your company's company profile in Jakamo. Please fill in all the necessary information you want to fill, or if you want to like update some another address information or website or whatever, or for example, add your company logo here available. It's possible to do in company profile. Here you can find edit company info, where you can edit all the details that is shown here. This is the profile that will be also shared with your partner companies in Jakamo. So after you have connection with your customer or customers, they all are then able to see this information. So it would be good if this is up to date, if some of your customer will check this information from Jakamo. The second thing I recommend you to do is to check your company users. For example, here you can see me and my colleague Jens here. And this is the place where you can see all your company users. And please ensure that you will have all the necessary people. For example, all the people that need to process ATs or PPAPs from Haldex in Jakamo. So first thing, I recommend you to add necessary users. For example, here on my company page, it's easy to use that add user functionality. You need to fill in your colleague's email address and define which kind of role they will have in Jakamo. We have two roles. Company admin is the user that have all the rights and accesses in Jakamo, for example, to add new users, create new relationships, manage company account level settings in Jakamo. Member will have the same, they will see the same information, they will be, they have access to all the same content, but they are not, for example, able to manage company level settings, for example, add new users or create new relationships with other companies. And after you have fill in necessary information, you may want to type short message for them, and then you are able to send these user invites to persons you want to invite to log into your account. Please note that invite only users that are your colleagues. Do not invite any outside of the organization persons, because if there is some other than your colleague in your account, they will see all the information you have in Jakamo, and there should be something sensitive information that will be restricted from outsiders. So please invite only your colleagues to your Jakamo account. Okay, first steps, my company profile, information check, and adding necessary users to Jakamo. And third thing I recommend you to do is to check your network in Jakamo. As I said, network is the heart of Jakamo. And here on the network tab, you can see all the companies that you have connection in Jakamo. For example, my supplier, imaginary supplier here, have connection with 2 customers. So check that you will have Haldex here on the customers list. That means that now you have connection in Jakamo and you are able to receive PPAPs, ATs, and other information via Jakamo. If there is no Haldex here, it's easy to use, for example, this find companies functionality to find, for example, if I know that there is some steel customer I want to connect via Jakamo, I can search by your name and request relation with them by defining that this is my customer, and maybe type some short message. And if I send this relation request, this company user will be notified that you want to create relationship with them in Jakamo, and they can accept or reject the request. Let's go back to network. So here is, for example, now relationship with Haldex. Here you can see this kind of master data button here available. Haldex will have their supplier master data in Jakamo, which means that they will gather their supplier information in Jakamo, and they are also able to share information related to you with you via Jakamo. And you can find that information from that master data button. And this is something I want to emphasize that please check this information immediately after you have logged into Jakamo, so that you can update and correct if there is some information out of date. This template or this master data information will consist two different type of data. First type of data is data updated by customer, which means that this is visible for you, but you are not able to modify it via Jakamo. For example, here you can see some vendor codes and name for your company. Then there is something, for example, to which units of Haldex you are supplying to, your Haldex responsible user information, latest audit information. If there is some contract management required, there can be some information about that. Agreed payment terms, delivery terms, some economical information related to you and your company. Then there is another type of data which is updated by supplier, and this is something that Haldex has created for you. For example, a different kind of information and fields to be fulfilled. They can be pre-filled or they can be empty. For example, here you can see that you are able to add and edit your contact person information. For example, here are some persons already added, and it's easy to add new persons if necessary. Then there is, for example, if I scroll a little bit down, some general information that your customer wants to gather. For example, ownership information, major customer information, key product information, some additional economical information to be fulfilled, and also different kind of documents. And these are something that you are able to upload and keep updated here. It's easy to add new files, for example, using this choose file and find from your computer or somewhere else to add these certain documents. And of course, if there is something that you need to update, it's easy to replace the file and if necessary, type some kind of description here or comment related to that document. And after you have done your modifications, there is this kind of save button I recommend you to use to save your changes. Is there something, David, or someone else that wants to emphasize or comment or add related to this master data?
Yeah, the key thing with this is, of course, to make sure that we have all the data available transparently within the supply chain. So we all know that this is the data available and this is the same data that you see and that we have. And that will make our whole business a lot easier and be the faster communication, and we don't spend time on looking for data and for documents or certificates as an example.
Yes, thank you. So that was the third thing of the steps I recommend you to do once you have logged into Jakamo first time. So as a recap, check your My Company profile, add all the necessary users to your account, and check your network that you have relationship with Haldex, and check the master data they have about your company and do necessary updates. Okay, before we go and see our applications and AT and PPAP processes in applications, I will shortly show you a couple of things quickly. Let's check my profile and notification settings and how to get help if you have any issues related to Jakamo use. Under your own name, you can find all the settings or functionalities that are related to your user. So you are able to set, for example, if you want to change your Jakamo user interface language, if you don't want to use Jakamo in English, for example, it's easy to do on my profile. There is this kind of language selection, so there is a couple of other languages in addition to English you are able to choose. And also I recommend you to update your region and time zone, because as a default, Jakamo will assume that you are in Central European time, but if you are not, please update your time zone at least, so that all the timestamps in Jakamo are then in your time. So these Central European timestamps don't confuse you unnecessarily. Yes. And also remember here also to save if you do some changes here. Then as a tip for you, Jakamo will send you email notifications as a default 3 times a day, so you don't need to monitor Jakamo log in and log out and see if there is something new appeared for you. So you can trust that Jakamo will send you email notifications 3 times a day as a default. Of course, you can add times. For example, if you want notifications every hour or only once a day, it's possible to set remove times at new times as you prefer. Also, it's possible to select separate emails, which means that you will automatically have a separate email for every activity happened in Jakamo. So you can choose which one is more suitable for you. And under the following setting, you can find Jakamo application specific notification settings. And I would say that only applications you need to maybe set up is claims and engineering changes. Those are applications Haldex will start to use with you. You are able to, for example, select that you are following only Haldex related to claims, so you will get notified only new items created by Haldex. And these tick boxes are related to first 3 are related to these user dashboard notifications. So I recommended you to keep them all selected, and these last 3 ones are for email notifications. And here you are able to have email notifications of everything that is new in Jakamo. If there is some changes for existing items in Jakamo, or if there is any kind of discussion somewhere in Jakamo. And I recommend that you keep at least this new item tick box unselected if you want to mute all the other notifications, so that you will always get notified if there is something new in Jakamo. And also, again, here you can save your changes. So please, if you do some modifications, remember to save the changes. I know that this might not be that simple to do at the first task in Jakamo to set up your notification, for example. So we have this kind of help and support page where you can have help for if you have some questions related to Jakamo. Here you can find our user guide link, this Jakamo docs. Here you can see that support.jakamo.com address also. It looks like this. So here you can find on the user guide, for example, information related to that supplier master data, or for example, under the network, how to create relation with other companies, or for example, under the user settings, there is a short tutorial video and also written instructions how to set up those user dashboard and email notifications, so you are able to come back to these instructions once you want to modify your notification settings, for example. So please feel free to utilize and take a look for these instructions on Jakamo user guide. Okay, I think we are ready to go to applications. All the Jakamo applications can be found from the apps, and here you can see all the applications available in Jakamo. And as you can see by the name of the applications, that they are quite good, referring to the process or functionality they are designed to. And today we are going to take a closer look for claims and engineering changes. Each application, for example, if we go to claims, they are designed to look like each other, so it's easy to start using any application in Jakamo. For example, if you know how to use claims application, it's easy to start to use engineering changes application also. Each application now we are in the list view. So every application have this kind of view where you can see a list of all, for example, HDs that you have received via Jakamo. Here you can see sent and received tab. Now we are in received side, but of course, if you send something for your suppliers or your customers, they will be available in sent tab. Of course, for example, ATs by Haldex are always in received side. You are able to, for example, filter based on your responsibilities, or for example, you are able to search by the title of the AT if necessary. Here you can see different statuses of the ATs here. And if there is something that you are able to do for certain AT, there is also this kind of process button available in the list view. But I think it would be more clear if we check on AT as a whole, if we just click from the list view. Here you can see one AT, and this is the view that is similar for you and customers, so it's easy to just point out some section, and it will be also visible for customer if there is something that needs to be discussed or agreed with customer. Here you can see this kind of sharing block which tells you who is the creator of this AT and to whom it's shared with. Here on the top you can, for example, download this AT as a PDF if necessary. Each item in Jakamo will have status that will tell in which process phase this specific item is currently. And for example, ATs can be in different kind of statuses. For example, new AT will be waiting for your response in Jakamo, and maybe we can check something that is in progress. Okay, there is waiting for response AT. Here you can see that this is now waiting for my response because this is shared with my company, and I can easily change the status to in progress by just clicking this status button here. And this is now indicating for customer that this is now in progress on our side. After I have given my response to that AT, this will be automatically updated to completed, and after customer has reviewed and accepted my response, it will be updated to accepted. Or if customer for some reason reject my response, it will be go back in progress, and it indicates for me as a supplier that there is something that I need to fill up or add to my response. Jakamo will also track time of different statuses, so there is available time tracking for how long this AT has been in different statuses. For example, this has waited for supplier's response now 1 hour, so quite quick response from supplier side. Before I go to how to process this AT, let's quickly see the rest of the sections here that are available. Basic information includes, for example, title and maybe some reference numbers for example, purchase orders or project or product references. And defect info includes specific info related to that specific AT. For example, date and time, type or classification information, claim description, if there is some costs or other compensation required, or if wanted to give more detailed information about quantities or inspection hours, it can be added to that defect info. Users tells who is the author user, or author is always the creator of the AT or item in Jakamo, and responsible users are other users that are responsible of this specific AT, for example. And as a supplier, I am also able to add responsible users. For example, here is now my name as a responsible user, but of course I can assign this to my colleague easily just by clicking his name here. And if I save, now Jens is updated to be the responsible user of my company to that AT. And this information is also available for customers, so they can see that who is responsible of this AT process on supplier side. And I recommend you to use this responsible user functionality so that you are able to have, for example, email notifications if there is some changes or updates in that AT. So responsible users will be notified despite their own personal notification settings. So it guarantees that correct persons will be notified if there is something that needs their attention here. Then there is tags available, and these are mainly for customer purposes to categorize, for example, these APs. So they are like for your information that there can be this kind of tags to help customer to categorize their APs in Jakamo. Then there is this response section. Let's take a closer look shortly after I have presented rest of this view. Tasks are something that will be utilized in your AT and PPAP processes. Basic functionality is that there is possibility to add simple tasks, for example, type, sort, description, assigned it to customer or supplier person here, and also set deadline for that task. And if I set deadline for individual task, it means that Jakamo will automatically remind this person before that deadline that there is open task that needs to be processed. So it's quite easy to, for example, create task for yourself or your colleague to be able to do the tasks on time. And once you have processed your task, for example, added some files or sent something that is required, you are able to update the status, for example, ready for review, so that indicates that this task being taken care of. Then there is possible to download customers uploaded files, or you are able to upload your own files if necessary, for example, pictures, drawings, certificates, whatever the files will be. If there is plenty of files available, you are able to download them all as a zip file, or if you want to only some files to be downloaded, you are able to download them separately by using this download button here. And if you want, you are able to, for example, create folder to help categorize these files if necessary, for example, based on certain task or set of files. You are able to create folder for them to be easier to find. And last but not least, this discussion section. This is available for every item and every application we have in Jakamo, and this is the place I recommend to use if you have anything related to this certain AT, questions, information, whatever. This is something that is visible then for you, your colleague, and also for customer. For example, I can add new comment, and I can also tag people. Jakamo knows automatically who are the users that have access to this certain AT, so it's easy to tag people and get them notified that I have, for example, asked something. Also, it's easy to mark that you have, for example, if you don't reply to a certain comment, it's easy to mark these comments as seen, so everyone can see that you have saw the comment and maybe reacted some way. Before I show what you are expected to respond to that AT, do you others have something to add about, for example, Haldex requirements for the supplier or something else?
Yes, thanks, Annie. Just a few comments from my side. The Jakamo claims follows the AT approach, as I suppose you all used to. We will also put in some comments when we submit the claim to what we expect in what section. We will also attach our problem-solving templates and the labels we have for inspected parts to each claim. And for all planned actions in your investigation, please use the task section. We put in a description, responsibility, and timing, and so on. And as Annie said, use the comment section for all communication relating to the claim, and try to avoid mail contact. So we have everything in one place. I think that was all from me.
Yes, thank you. So I will then show the response section that is quite good following the AT steps. I will show some AT that has been already completed, so you can see the different text available here that I have written down here. So this is something that you are able to do for AT and requires to do. You are able to give your response and process this AT by filling in the necessary information for this kind of template. For example, you are able to fulfill containment information and corrective actions and cause analysis of this certain AT. Then you are able to, for example, tell that in which phase of your process this defect has been happened, and also precautionary actions and follow-up actions needed. There are all own sections for each information. Then there is always also possible to add some your own references if needed, and if there is some files need to be added, it's possible to do in this process template. And you are always able to start this process and save and continue later, or once you are ready, you can save this answer as completed. Your answers will be visible in this response section, and also here the status will be completed. If you start the process and save and continue later, it will be in progress until you mark your response as complete. And next step is that now, after this answer has been completed, customer will be notified that there is now completed AT, and they can accept or reject your response. Any other comments from Anders, David, or should we move to PEEP engineering changes and PEEP?
Nothing more from me. You made a good presentation, Annie.
Yes. Okay, let's move to engineering changes then. And as you can see, we are now same kind of list view than for claims. Here you can see on the received tab all the PPAPs that my imaginary supplier company has received. Here are indicated this kind of task, like completion percentage, which might help you to find PPAPs that are not started, or there is something that has been done and completed. PPAPs, of course, the status will be here also completed when everything is done. But for example, all the open statuses, it's easy to see from this percentage that in which stage these PPAPs are. And if I open, for example, this PPAP, you can see that this looks quite similar that these 8Ds also looks. There is this kind of sharing block. You can see again who is the creator of this item, to whom it's shared with. The status of this PPAP, for example, this is now have been open for 2 days, and there are open means that there is still tasks that need to be completed. This also tracks the total time of different statuses. So once this PPAP has been completed, it will be updated automatically this status as complete and stop tracking the time on previous status. Here is also some basic information description. You can find author and responsible users here, and you are able to set responsible user of your company here the same way you are able to do it in claims and 8Ds. Also, tasks are similar. There will be different kind of task sets for PPAPs related or different task sets depending on which level of PPAP process customer is using. For example, in my example, there is all 18 tasks available, and as you can see, all tasks have short description, company that the task is for, and responsible of this task, responsible person of this task. And similarly, there can be deadline dates. So Jakamo will automatically remind, for example, this responsible user Julia then before this deadline that hey, there is some task to be done. And similarly, there is possibility to upload files, download files, create folders, download all files if necessary as a zip file. Then there is also a possibility for customer to categorize these PPAPs by using tags, and also discussion section for you and customer to discuss for this specific PPAP. And because now this PPAP process is available in Jakamo, it's easy to see that in which phase this PPAP process is going on. Do you want Thomas now add something and comment about the PPAP process?
Just some comments here. So
yes.
Highlighting here that the structure definitely changed in regards of the requirement, but in the content the requirement are the same. I mean the PPAP level requirement are the same, just the structure change here. The new structure kind of listing the different elements can support us to evaluating your submitted attached documents elements by elements, and we are able to evaluating separately them, and we could requiring correction just at limited elements where we can see any gaps. Also, the deadlines, as you mentioned, so we creating and adding deadlines to the task, and the system will time by time reminding the addressed person to react and completing them. As Anders highlighted the importance, and also I want to underlining that to use the comment box. That's a great tool here to keep all the communication at the separately here. Yes, to the PPAP. Historically, it's very good if all the communication could be found in a same place, avoiding any confusions. And yeah, we can see later what was the questions and what was the requirements from Haldex, which was answered here. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, I think that we have now go through all the steps, short walkthrough and applications shortly that you will start to use with Haldex in upcoming weeks. I think we are now ready to move to the presentation back, so we can see that what is happening next. I think that David can continue once I have everything ready here. Yep.
So during this week now here, then you will receive invitations from your normal contacts, the commodity managers from the sourcing organization. If you don't receive any invitation email or letter this week, please feel free to reach out to them and make sure you get one. We intend to go live and start Jakamo here on the 21st, so it's fairly soon. And then from that on, we will manage the ATs and the PPAPs and also the communication here through the platform. If you have any other questions here after this call, feel free to reach out to me or Tamas or Anders, or also through Jakamo for details when it comes to the technical details regarding the platform, either to Anni or to the support team. We will also share here, we're looking at a way to share today's presentation with you all. It will come either in the Teams chat or by email later on here, depending on how we can share it in a good way to all of you. So for now, please feel free to add more questions if you have some from this live event, and then we will start to go through one or all the questions we have already received here.
Yes, I can see plenty of good questions, so I think we can start to go them through.
Yeah, so there's one question here about the platform, or if there will be a manual about the Jakamo platform that you could send out. And there are here also listed, then you go in on the website, you can find some, but we will also share the tutorials and the Jakamo documents here and user guides after the event here. They are also, I assume, available through the platform, all these documents and tutorials.
Yes, they are.
How many users within one company can be registered, or is there one global access by company? You can actually add as many users as you want to, and all users will be registered separately and will have their own access with their email, their work email, and their own selected password. And we recommend that all persons within your company that actually have or are interacting or have own interaction with the people at Haldex have their own account.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Is the platform purpose for data and information sharing, or are you going to use it for placing orders, shipment, and invoicing as well? The current use cases are the AT, PPAP, and the data and documentation. The orders, the shipment, and invoicing is not the part of the scope right now, but it might be later. So if so, we will come back to you regarding that. Then the next one is what happens if we do not accept the terms and conditions? If you're referring to terms and conditions of the Jakamo platform, there's documents that you should read to what they contains, and that you need to answer those as well and agree on those. If you're referring to the terms and conditions for doing business with SAP Holland Haldex, they are the same as they always have been, and they are the basic requirements of doing business with SAP Holland and Haldex. So they need to be accepted.
Yes, and if there is any questions for Jakamo's terms and conditions, please contact, for example, me or our support, so we can maybe discuss or explain things more if needed. But acceptance of terms and conditions are mandatory too before you are able to use Jakamo.
Yeah. Is Jakamo used by another company which requires our access in this portal? So maybe our company account has been created already. How should I know if the company account has been created or not? If your company is registered to Jakamo, then we will find it when we set you up as a relation with a Haldex SAP Holland. And we will also request your colleagues to invite you as a new company account here, if that's the case. So if you're already in there, we will know, and Jakamo will know, and then you will be able to use that. But there will be a new link to Haldex Brake Products AB. And that's, I think, is one thing we should also mention here as well, that even if you deliver to Haldex Hungary only, the setup in Jakamo is that you are linked to Haldex Brake Products AB. So it's the same name, Haldex Brake Products AB, that's being used for both Haldex in Landskrona and Haldex Hungary. And the registrations, invitations, they will be sent out during this week. Then another question here, our company has several sites serving Haldex SAP Holland. Does every site need to register individually? And in this case, Matti, maybe you can elaborate a little bit on this one.
Yes, we prefer the companies to utilize only one account. It's easier to collect the data in one account and manage it transparently internally in your company. So there are, of course, that kind of situations that this kind of separate account could be possible to establish, but in this case, our recommendation is to set up one account and handle all these ATs and PPAPs in that account. But if you want to ask more or discuss about this, please contact us and we will set up a meeting and go that through.
All right, then where in the product informations of the 8D do I see the supplier data, like our delivery note or batch number, which is necessary for traceability? All information needed for traceability will be submitted with the claim, either in the claim description or as a picture, which is what we normally do as well today when we send out 8Ds. And I believe that was the main questions. We have covered them. There were also several similar questions.
Yes.
But we have also covered those into this.
Yes.
So maybe we'll leave another minute here to see if there's any more questions popping up.
Yes, we can do that. So basically there is, I think, 3 questions about those like how many accounts, company accounts need to be created if there is many sites or many different countries that may need own accounts or not. So basic principle is that only one account per one company.
Yes, and then that the people that actually are responsible, they can be located in different locations, but they all should have their own access, so to say, or their own login, and then they can manage their own questions. So I would think that as an example, if you have one site in Sweden and one in Lithuania, and you deliver into Haldex Hungary from both of them as an example, then you should have the quality people from both sides being applicable to be in there and answer the ATs, depending on where the site or where the parts come from.
Yes, and those responsible user setting is quite handy for those cases. So it's easy to assign ATs or PPAPs to certain people. So it's then taking care of correct people.
Yeah, then it will be automatically addressed to the right person. So that's a good comment, Annie, that the contact list in the platform is correctly updated with the correct names, especially if people leave or you have reassignments within your companies, that you add that correct contact name and email address, so that then it will automatically be directed to the right person. Good. Then I thank you a lot for joining this webinar and live event for this introduction of the platform and our new way of collaborating with you, so that we now improve our communication and the transparency of data within the supply chain. So I wish you all a good afternoon, good evening, and thank you for today. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.